As we've connected this morning, there's a theme of working with multiple stakeholders, of an interest in the deep democracy processes and how they will unfold, and a curiosity to hear what comes out of the conversation so that the content can be worked with and applied back at the office.
Make a statement, and then if you, listening to the statement, feel that that resonates with you, you agree with that statement, you just come and stand next to the person who makes the statement. So I think that the world should be coloured purple, and if Peter agrees with me, he'll come stand here. But Debbie may decide that she doesn't agree. She definitely doesn't agree.
We actually need to take to the streets and do more of what's happening. Create a bit of chaos.
You know, it's about time we stop this racial stuff and actually each one of us genuinely got together with one another and get over this bloody racial tension.
Unless we accept, all of us, our racism and acknowledge it, can we only embrace the change. But if a system in this country systematically made you a racist.
We need much better leadership, and we need to make the leadership more accountable.
I feel like as a young South African, the power to choose my own destiny was taken away from me 20 years ago when it became about race in my life.
So we need things that are practical, okay? We need to educate the voter, the populace. They need to understand who they're voting for so we can root out corruption.
However, I think that as we've said before, we need to move beyond that and address the issues where power makes a difference.
We're being betrayed by our leaders, but they're getting a free card because of historical allegiances.
Very naive. I think you're missing a lot of important points.
That racial divide still remains. You sit in the boardrooms where you are equals. You share an idea. If you're a black person, you say an idea. It doesn't seem to be accepted. Somebody across you says the same thing with nice, beautiful words, and it gets accepted and it becomes an idea, and you sit there and you say, but that's exactly what I said.
From the words of babes, listen to your kids. They are speaking along racial lines.
And I need to also help my counterparts to see the damage that happened over a long period of time and get them to hold their hands, to be patient with one another.
I guess the thing that worries me is this first point about the history, considering history. What is the consequence of that? It's easy to think about it. What does that mean for me and what I accept and what kind of equality redress needs to happen and what does that mean for me as a white male and the things that I can achieve in this economy? Is that a price that I have to pay that's a fair price?
The impact of the racism that it still has on my kids and just what it means. I think for me personally, that's a deep error that I'm going to have to try and personally in my space address.
We've all been victims of prejudice, whether it's race or something else. And so in a way, although I feel like a perpetrator because I've got a white skin in South Africa, I also feel like a victim.
It's not going to help seeing it from a technical stance or from a logical, rational stance. This is an emotive issue, and I need to be able to meet it with the emotion that it is. And I have to learn how to do that out of my comfort zone.
My name is Alistair Dryer. I'm the executive head of a school. We use this process extensively in our school for leadership training of our grade 12s. It has proven to be very useful over time and gives the young people really good skills in having difficult conversations and so on. In terms of today's process, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I realized it was fairly short, but it was having one of the harder conversations in South African society. And I do think the deep democracy process is a great process and way of getting to the real issues.
This was an amazing experience. I think one thing that I really can take from this process is you can use all the nice jargon, all the perfect words, but in the end it's about trust. If you don't trust a person, it's very difficult. So I think what this process helped us is to understand what is real trust. And with trust, one can take this country very far.
Good morning, my name's Ian Widder. I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa. We just had a wonderfully democratic conversation around how we can make individual contributions to the flourishment of this wonderful society in South Africa. And it's been very insightful, very quickly touches people and brings them into the process. And I think also it gives people individual insights and group perspectives.